Welcome to the Lose Your Big Ass Stomach podcast. I'm your host, Jay Jackson, and my mission here is to help you get rid of that big ass stomach and take back control of your health so that you can look and feel your best by being the best version of yourself, mentally and physically, while destroying the mediocre agenda society is trying to brainwash you into, and breaking our families' generational curses of being unhealthy by being a healthy and fit role model. It's time to set a new standard. It's time to set a new standard of living. If you find the podcast helpful, be sure to hit that follow button because that helps us build a movement. Let's go. And you know, a lot of times we hear about building muscle, burning fat, and the mojo. We hear people talk about mojo. I need to get my mojo back. A lot of people, that all comes from testosterone. When you think about a man who has a high level of testosterone, you think about men who, they're conquering things. They have a lot of muscle. They shredded. They got abs. Those are the different images and things that come to mind when you think about a high level of testosterone. You think about guys who box, you remember the movie Creed 1, Creed 2, and Creed 3, Michael B. Jordan, high levels of testosterone going around, right? But there's the other side to it. There's the people who don't have a high level of testosterone. And science shows, research shows, once we hit about 30 years old, that's when our testosterone starts to, go down. But it doesn't necessarily mean it has to go down, though. It don't have to. It just, it's natural for it to go down. But there's different things that we can do to keep it up. There's different things that we can do to make sure that we don't, start to suffer from these, low testosterone symptoms. For example, when we have a low level of testosterone, everybody think about, Willie Limping. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You're a little limp in the bedroom. It ain't like it used to be. When you was in your teens and your early 20s, man, your boy was just strong. You like, man, I can have it all day, every day. But then, when your testosterone low, man, everything else be low too. You just be tired. You be sad. You be depressed. You don't have that motivation to do nothing. Y'all do know that, right? Some of y'all who always say, man, I ain't got the motivation to do nothing, man. Coach, I just don't have it in me to do it. That's a symptom of low testosterone. Y'all do know that, right? And so the thing is, it doesn't have to be that way. We can change these things with simple changes. And so I'm about to give y'all some of these simple changes because believe it or not, your boy, I've actually been through stages and phases of low testosterone. Believe it or not. Because, when I started doing bodybuilding, believe this or not, y'all, you can get to very, very low percentages of body fat and not eating enough food, not eating enough calories on a daily basis to where it can lower your testosterone. It can be a negative effect. And so that's why it's really important that you guys are not out here just trying shit, just trying diets and just bouncing from diet plan to diet plan. No, you got to find what's going to work the best for you. And so that way you feel your best. You're not just trying to do stuff just because it sounds good or that you might lose some weight. Don't know. You want to do it to where it helps you look good, but also feel good. And so I went, when I was doing my bodybuilding shows, I did 2 shows. And after my second show, I just got fed up. I got fed up with eating all day, y'all. I'm just going to be straight up. I was spending about $1,500 a month on food, if not more, and supplements. And I was just like, it's just too much. I can't do all this. And so, after I stopped, I did notice that I just wasn't feeling the same way I was prior to doing bodybuilding. I noticed that my energy level had went down. I noticed that, I wasn't just having like that how can I say it? The wanting, the urge to want to, get to that action in the bedroom, for the lack of a better word. I just say that. And so I started, I'm one of them people, I kind of like pay attention to the patterns that go on in my life. I'm like, what was going on back then? And what's going on now? What's happening? And I noticed one thing, I wasn't eating that much. And when I don't eat that much, like I was just sharing, when you don't eat as much food, even though you could be lean, You could be looking like you in shape, but this is what I always say, it's not all about just looks. It's about how you feel. And shoot, around this time, I was still already posting stuff on social media. So people didn't know I was feeling terrible. I didn't feel good back then. I just looked good. I didn't feel good though. And so it's very important that you eat properly so that when you feel good, you have a higher level of testosterone, okay? You also got to eat the right type of foods. We're going to get to that in a second too. But the second part of it is this, because I went through a different phase. After I figured that part of it out, I went through another phase. And so the second phase was a high amount of stress. I'm one of those kind of people. I'm type A personality. Like whenever I got my mind fixated on getting some shit done, that's just what's gonna happen. Like if I gotta run up a bag, it's about to happen. I don't give a damn what. I'm about to go make it happen. And it caused me a lot of stress. And so I wasn't pacing myself throughout the day. I would just go ham like the whole day, no rest. And your boy was burning out. I found myself with a high level of stress. And in the evening times, when it's time to have a little fun in the bedroom, it's not that I didn't want to, I just didn't have the urge. That testosterone, it just wasn't roaring, like it usually would. And so I was thinking like, damn, this must be the end of my days. Something ain't right. Man, it wasn't like this before. I could just stand up just looking at her, and it just, what's happening to me? And then I went on this journey of learning. And I started learning that if you have a very stressful lifestyle, that can also, ruin your testosterone. And not necessarily ruin it in a way where you can't get it back under control, but it can affect it. It can make your testosterone go down. And so this is why I always tell guys and women, you need to have not just, a routine for taking showers and washing yourself and cleaning up and brushing your teeth, but you also got to have supplement routines, health supplements, things like magnesium, things like ashwagandha. These are mood and stress relieving supplements. Everybody after the age of 30 need to be taking magnesium, like straight up, because we all go through our levels of stress throughout the day. And so take that when you're getting ready to go to sleep. I started doing it and I noticed a difference after a couple of weeks. And it was just amazing to me. I was like, I never knew that supplements can make this much of a difference when it comes to our stress. And then there's men out here who even say ashwagandha helps in the bedroom. Not only with just stress, but in the bedroom. I'm one of them guys. I noticed it. So I'm like, oh, okay. We're back in action. And so if you live a very high stress lifestyle, you want to start to not only just take these supplements, but you also want to sleep, because you could be taking these supplements and, dealing with your stress, but you still will have a high level of stress if you're not sleeping. That's probably number one, because testosterone is a hormone. And so if we're not sleeping well, we won't feel well. Our body won't produce testosterone like we need it to if we're not sleeping well. All right. And so these are things you want to pay attention to: the sleep, the supplement routine. So that way, you're able to manage your stress a little bit better. But then also having some self-awareness to, I didn't just continue to just work from sun up to sundown. I stopped doing that. I started pacing myself throughout the day. So I had little mini breaks in between, a 90-minute to 2-hour task. Then I rest for a little bit, get back to the action after a good 30 minutes to an hour. You see what I'm saying? Just depending on the task. And so having some self-awareness around not just time management, but your energy management. Very, very important, guys. This is why I talk so much about self-awareness. You got to know what works for you, because you'll have trainers out here telling you, hey, you got to do this diet plan. Hey, you got to do this workout plan. What if that damn diet plan don't work for you though? What if you need to be eating some kind of meat? What if you just enjoy eating carbs from time to time? You like eating tacos and burgers like I do. But if you got a trainer that's telling you, hey, you can't eat carbs, it's going to make you fat. Well, what's going to happen when you want to start back eating tacos and burgers and pizza and all these? What's going to happen? You go gain the weight back, because you're not understanding how to make it a lifestyle. Become self-aware, Then start to make it a lifestyle based on the things that you prefer doing versus the things that you really don't care for. All right. And so that's important. And then there's two other things. We grown as hell, y'all. Yeah, we real grown. Some of y'all past grown. Like y'all old heads. You ain't just grown no more. And some of y'all drinking sweet teas, lemonades, Coca-Colas and soda, all kinds of stuff, but water. You want to drink everything that got some sugar in it, but you're not drinking no water. And you wondering why you don't have energy. You wondering why you don't feel well. Guys, do y'all realize like these processed sugars, it ruins our not just our testosterone, but our energy. And it makes us hungrier. And so if you're eating a lot of sugar and you're like, man, I don't know why I'm so hungry all the time. I don't know why I just have the cravings for this stuff. It's the sugar, man. You're eating too much sugar. And sometimes you're eating too much salt too. And so you want to start to, it's going to be hard to just get rid of sugar altogether. I ain't saying you got to do that. Moderation will help. But even better than just moderation is giving yourself more structure. Because I see when a lot of you guys, y'all fill out the assessment form to, see if you can work with me. And a lot of y'all have zero structure on how y'all eat. You just, I eat healthy. I've been eating clean. That ain't shit. You could be overweight, big old ass stomach, eating healthy. There's plenty of vegans and vegetarians out here who overweight and they eating healthy. So you gotta have structure. And so if you know you want to eat a taco, you want to eat a burger, you want to eat a pizza, you gotta have structure. How many days out the week you doing that? Or how many days out the month are you doing that? You gotta have structure around this stuff. Because if you just winging it, doing it when you feel like doing it, your stomach will keep on filling out your shirt. So you gotta have some structure with that kind of stuff. And then when it comes to the hydration side of it is this. There's research that shows, you need to work out. You need to lift weights. You need to, exercise and eat properly. But it's only gonna help so much if you're not hydrated. See, our body is more than 50% water, if y'all don't know that. And so if you're not drinking water and you lacking energy, it's because you're not drinking water. So you need to be drinking water. That's gonna help you out. And then that'll help you start feeling more energized. When you tend to feel more energized, you tend to feel a little bit more, in that mode in the bedroom. All right, so that's a way that it can help you out too. And then again, the sugar. And so you gotta have structure around how often are you eating sugar. Like just yesterday, I had some sugar shans. Nope, it's a plug, but it ain't a plug, cause I ain't getting paid for it. But I don't like just. I don't know if y'all like me, but I'm one of them folks. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it big. If I'm gonna eat some cookies, I ain't about to eat no vegan cookies. I'm not about to eat no diet cookies. I'm not about to eat no little bit ass cookie. I'm gonna eat me a big cookie if I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go big or go home. And so I go to Sugar Shan's. They got the big old ass cookies. It almost looked like a cake or a cupcake. And so that's what I did. But I'm only giving myself the structure to be able to do that once a week or once every other week. Then on the other days throughout the week, your boy eating clean and lean. Structure. You see what I'm saying? And then some weeks I may eat, 2 cheat meals. But it's not a whole cheat day. It's not a whole cheat weekend. Some of y'all on the weekends, you be celebrating being fat. You be having the Simply Lemonade. Oh, go get some vodka and some Hennessy. Or get some tequila so we can mix it. Man, that'll make you big as hell fast. That'll bring your testosterone down fast. That'll have your energy level down fast. Because you drinking all this sugar plus alcohol. I drink alcohol from time to time. I've been considering giving it up. But it depletes our energy. You see, like alcohol is actually poison. I know it makes us tend to feel good a little bit, but it doesn't do any good for us. You know what I'm saying? Outside maybe, socially, breaking the ice. That's what people tend to do. That's like the society that we live in. But I'm very mindful of how these things make me feel still. And I know when I tend to drink alcohol and Not to mention if I drink alcohol with some sugar in it, I try not to even do that no more. I just drink my alcohol, my liquor straight. But when I tend to add some type of juice with it, something else with it, boy, the next day I feel beat up. I don't even want to get out of bed. Like, I can't imagine, like, when I was in my early 20s, it wasn't all that bad. You know, I could go to sleep 1, 2 a.m., wake up at 6 a.m., go to football practice, you know, but now, oh, hell no. If I go to sleep at 1 after drinking some alcohol with some sugar, oh, man, the whole next day, trash. I don't even feel like the same person no more. And so I'm aware of that. And so you want to pay attention to these things, because if you're not, these things, it don't just happen that day or just that week. It happens because it becomes a habit. And so if you create a habit out of drinking sugar all the time, eating junk food, not drinking water, that's a habit, not drinking water. If you creating all these bad habits, they just start to stack on top of each other. And then it starts to weigh on you. It starts to weigh on you via you have a big stomach, via man boobs, via you starting to notice that your testosterone ain't like it used to be. It's not where you would like it to be. You can't perform in the bedroom like you used to. You don't have the energy to be able to enjoy time with your family and your friends and your loved ones. You see what I'm saying? These bad habits start to weigh on you. And so a lot of times success is not always about adding new things. It's about the things that we need to remove. And so start to think about these bad habits that you need to remove from your life, so that way you can increase your testosterone. So you can start not just looking better, but feeling better. That way you can do more. Some of you guys, you always say, man, I just don't have the time. I just don't have the time. We all got the same 24 hours in a day. And so what are you doing with it? Sometimes when you don't have energy, you can't utilize the time the same way that somebody who does have the energy can. And so that's why it's important to start staying hydrated, being physically active. You ain't got to be all ripped up, cut up in the gym, but you need to be getting your ass in the gym a good 3-4 days a week to push some weight. You know what I'm saying? Sugar as well. Cutting back on the sugar, managing your stress. You see what I'm saying? Once you start to understand these habits, because I'm giving y'all the game, man. I'm giving y'all the game. Like, you just start, oh, okay, cool. He say these 4 things right here. Let me write them down on a sheet of paper. What areas of my life can I start to make this better? Start being intentional. Stop just living and start living on purpose. Be intentional with what you're doing with your time. And so that way you're not putting yourself in a situation where, you know, a year from now, things getting worse because you're not being intentional with improving. You want to look up a year from now, 5 years from now, and be proud of the time and effort that you done put into building yourself. Because ain't nobody gonna love you like you. You know what I'm saying? Everybody be out here, oh, the world's against me. Well, shit, are you against yourself too? Because if you're not doing nothing good for you, you against yourself too. You don't have nobody on your side, not even your damn self. And so if ain't nobody else on your side, at least you be on your side by taking care of yourself, being healthy, having energy. And so you can start enjoying yourself. Even if life ain't perfect, you can at least wake up in the morning, look at yourself in the bathroom mirror and be like, damn, oh, I'm proud of myself. I know it'd be plenty of days and weeks and months I don't feel like working out, but I do it anyway. Man, I'm proud of myself. Because I could have just not did nothing. I could have just, because I said this on my coaching call earlier. We be doing coaching calls and stuff inside our community. The time's going to go by anyway. The time is going to go by. This day, this week, this month is going to go by anyway. And so what would you like to say to yourself if a month from now went by? Would you like to say to yourself, damn, man, I just let so much time slip through my fingers, man. I don't have nothing to show for it. Are you going to be the person who be like, man, this last month was hell. Well, I'm proud of myself for still like putting in the work. You know, even though it's hard, I still put in the work. You know, it like the barrier to being above average is so low now. Because most folks, once they feel a little bit of resistance, it's a little, how can I say it, inconvenient. It's not the best time. They give up. They quit. Average. But the person who's like, man, I know I don't have an hour to go work out, but I can still go in there for about 30 to 45 minutes. You figure it out. Above average. You figuring shit out. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the message for today. Hopefully y'all found this podcast healthy. If you did, be sure to hit that subscribe button and leave your boy a 5-star review, man. We want to grow the podcast. That's the only way we can grow it if we are sharing it. All right, be sure to share the link to the podcast with your friends and family. And then also, you got to hit that 5-star review button so that way we can continue to grow it. These podcast platforms, they push the podcast out there more when they see that the podcast is getting 5-star reviews. All right, we out here, man. Keep crushing it. Let's go.